Page 33, Nobody Knows the Trouble I've Seen. A very famous old melody from a long time ago. They have a note there to watch out for the syncopation. Well, I would suggest you watch out for everything, and then we don't have to worry about it. Remember what syncopation is? It's when you're throwing the rhythm off a little bit. I'm going to go through the process for learning a piece of music. Let's see what we end up with. I look it over, it's a page long or whatever. I just need an idea of how long it is. It didn't need to be exact. The clef signs now are treble and bass clef. There's one flat in the key signature. We're in the key of F major, so make sure you're doing the scale for F major and the scale for D minor, because it has one flat in the key signature. And we're in common time, or 4/4 time. Take it one hand at a time because both hands are kind of busy. The right hand, you're starting with here, and the next note is here, so I guess we're kind of in this position. And at one and. 1 and 2 and. So we're playing on the ands of the notes. Beats 1 and 2 and here. So I guess we're in this position. Okay, whatever, I don't care. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you get this rhythm all over. 1 and 2. Now you can use fourth finger on that. I mean, you could have used third still, but I collapse a little bit. I like to stay relaxed, so I just do 4. Now, second line. Now, because in the third measure, I need little finger again here, I'm going to change hand positions on one of those repeated A's. I'm going to use third finger, say for the half note. This is the second line, second measure. Here, third finger. This way my little finger's ready to go. See, they don't always give you all the fingering. You got to figure it out. It's one of the reasons I'm trying to teach you a little bit about fingering as we go through this. Then the third line is pretty simple. Then hold the whole note down, and then thumb comes down. Connect this. You can't connect that, but connect this. I lift up on this because I got to move and I'm holding it down. And then you do it again. Now, at the end, from the second measure to the third measure, we have to move. Well, again, this is repeated notes. All I'm doing is I'm just changing hand positions. I'm just adding the D to it. So it's... That's all I'm doing. Left hand, let's see what it's up to. Starting out 5 and 3. 1, 2, and then B flat. Watch out on the last measure. That you have 2 voices again. Remember we talked about voices? The top voice where the stems are going up. Bottom voice, stems going down. Hold that down for 3 counts. Here, as you're doing that, you're holding that down. And then now the next line, you're coming down. You have a rest at the end of the first line. You got time to move down here. Then B flat. I'm sort of in this position. The thumb's doing all of that. Sometimes we have to, but you connect it as best you can. Third line, now we're up here, and they're pointing out it happens to be an F major scale. So you run into these scale passages in music a lot. And if you can do the scales, it really helps to play them. I'm only telling you to go up 1 octave right now until you get the scales. But once you're comfortable with the scales and you start going 2 octaves, this is the kind of thing where you're going to get that. This, because we're going more than 1 octave here. We're going from here to here. Well, the octave was here. We went further than that, farther than that. And that is the fingering, so I encourage that. Then in the last line, you're only going 1 octave. Here, and they want 2/5. That's doable. You can do that. But if there's some other way I can try and figure out where I don't have to play a little finger on the F and the next to the last measure to do that, I would. So I hear, so I could do a 2-4 or 4-2, and that way my little finger's a little closer to where I want to be. Here, it's a personal thing. Use the fingering in the book if you want, but I think I'm going to use a 4-2 and then a 5-1. Here. So once I have the hands sort of worked out separately, then I go put them together and see what happens. We're here, and then here, and then here. I go through the whole thing and I work out the hands together. And then I go back through it a few hundred times or whatever and slowly work out the hesitations. So it's a steady beat. Once I have that, then I add in the articulation. This is very connected. The left hand, you try and connect it. You can't, but you do the best you can. Look, both hands. Get a rest, you have to lift up. Okay, and you get to the end of the second line, lift up, and as you're playing that, the left hand's got to come out. So here in the third line, going from the second full measure to the third, I'm going to lift up, but in the left hand I'm going to connect it. So it's here. I'm lifting up here, but I'm connecting that. Hold the F down, it's a whole note. And do it again. Here, but I'm trying to connect the left hand. The idea is don't lift up in one hand just because you had to lift up in the other. Now, in the phrases, sometimes you'll lift up in both hands. It just works out that way. But otherwise, no. Once I have the articulation sort of worked out, then I'll think about the dynamics. P at the beginning is piano for soft. That's the melody. This, very soft, very light. Huh. The third line, you get an MF, it's mezzo forte. That's the right hand, it's the melody. The left hand is still light. Now soft. Moderately loud again. And then soft. The left hand's in the background. And once I have an idea of the dynamics, then I think about the speed. This is a slow piece. They give you some metronome markings to give you an idea. It's up to you. Just the whole thing needs to be at one speed. Got it? There are words to this. They don't give them in this arrangement, but there are words to it. You can probably Google them and find them. Now, the road map. Remember, the road map is what I call when do you go where, because we don't always start at the beginning and just play through it. You can move around. We've had repeat signs. We've had DC al fine before, I think. So at the bottom you see the DC al fine. That's fine, not fine. DC, remember, means go back to the beginning. Don't ask questions, just go to the beginning. Al fine means go to fine. Fine is the end. And you look at the end of the second line, you'll see fine there. The double bars there, in my opinion, that's an error. That should be a thin and thick bar line, because that's the symbol for the end of a piece. So you can take a pencil and widen out the second bar line to make it a thick one. So it's a thin and thick bar line. So what we're going to do is do all four lines, then go back and do the first two lines again. Yeah, all right. natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exaggerate them if you need to. The left hand's basically playing on them. Feel the natural accents as you're going through this. That way, when you get to the end of the second line here, the first F is louder than the second, because that's the natural accents. 1, 2, 3. And that's important, because when you go on here, I mean, notice they split the measure. The end of the second line only has 3 counts in it. There's a pickup to the next. That's the 4th beat. And it's 2 here, 2 here. It's part of interpretation. Let's play this together slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do louds and softs, just notes and rhythms. We will do the ZCL Fine thing too, and I'll give us 4 counts. 1 and 2 and ready and go, and 1 and 2 and 4. 4. 2, 3, rest. 3. To the beginning. 4. 3, rest. 2.